PsychicMyst Paranormal Network.
Hi, this is Shar with PsychicMyst Paranormal, and tonight I want to talk to you about one of my very favorite paranormal things, and that's a mirror. There's no denying that mirrors are mystical and magical and mysterious. The three M's. So I was fascinated with mirrors ever since I was a little kid. I was always able to look into them and see into other worlds, into other dimensions and places. It seemed that I intuitively just knew how to navigate the mirrors. And yes, I did say navigate because mirrors are dimensional portals. They contain a lot more than just a reflective surface. That surface, you can go within and beyond. You can travel to just about anywhere that you can imagine if you know how to do it. And the really cool thing about this is that it doesn't have to be an old, ancient, antique mirror or a witch's mirror or a black mirror or any of that crazy energy that you think might have to be built up over time. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're the best ones because they're even more powerful. Of course, for me, I like the more powerful mirrors. I use them for gateways. I use them to create portals and move through time and space. And if you think this is something you can't do, you're wrong. You can do this. Mirrors do have their own magic. If you pick up a mirror and you're an intuitive person, you can feel its energy. Mirrors all have their own unique energy signature, and if you can learn to read that energy signature, you can learn a lot about the distinctive mysteries contained within. Mirrors are like recorders. They literally record energy, and that energy will imprint or embed itself into the mirror. Even though a mirror is usually flat, it contains an abyss that is located inside the mirror. If you were able to walk into a mirror, you would think, it's real thin, so you could just walk in and walk right out. Just pop right out the other end of it, just because it's so thin. Instead, you would enter another dimension. You wouldn't walk out the back of the mirror. The coating on the back of a mirror is kind of like a block that keeps what's inside the mirror. If you want to exit the mirror, you have to leave the way you came. But with a mirror, there are infinite possibilities, so it could be kind of complicated to get out. Of course, we cannot physically enter a mirror, look around, explore, meet new people, etc. But we can do this on a spiritual level, where your conscious awareness in an altered state of being can indeed enter the mirror, look around, meet people, go to different dimensions, and do a whole bunch of things, anything the mind can think of. So I'm going to show you a picture of a non-human entity that I got during a mirror portal experiment that was actually photographed coming out of the mirror. So check this out. Here's the original picture that I got of the entity coming out of the mirror. It is a profile view. As you can see here, I have it outlined so you can see it a little better. When I told this entity to stay inside of the mirror, he told me to come inside of it, and here's the EVP that said that.
Stay inside the mirror.
When a person looks into a mirror or even touches the handle or the frame, anything that is touching the mirror records that person's energy. The longer you touch the mirror or look into it, the longer it will record. So if you have that mirror for 20 years, then that's 20 years of your energy that the mirror has embedded into itself. And not just your energy, but also the energy of those who pass by it, look into it, and even the atmosphere around it. What do you think happens with all that build-up energy? It starts to form a mass, and that mass of energy contains your personality traits and the personality traits of others that the mirror has encountered. That mass of energy puts out signals that moves within the physical realms, since that is where the mirror's energy operates and where its physical body, or the mirror itself, is located. And then it moves into the spiritual realm, where it starts to build a connection or a bridge. Take a new mirror, for example. When it's finished, and the person who finishes it takes a quick glance into it, even if it is for just a few seconds, a little piece of their energy becomes embedded into the mirror, thus awakening its spiritual existence. Even if no one looked into the brand new mirror, it would still absorb energies that are in the atmosphere, and that would spark its new spiritual awareness. After a while, the combination of the energy in the mirror's surroundings and any person, animal, or insect, or any other being who touches it, looks into it, or even just passes closely by it, these energies will also be recorded by the mirror. This includes ghosts, too. In time, the energy will form both light and dark masses of energy globs. These globs form together due to the likeness of the energies that go into the mirror, compared to the energy glob's preferences. In other words, if the mirror is put into a home with happy people, that happy energy or light energy will be recorded into the mirror. If the mirror is used by a miserable person, that energy or dark energy will be recorded into that mirror. These energy globs will start to get stronger and stronger, and their energy will send out signals that say, "Hey, I'm here. I want some company." Obviously, not literally, but it will start to attract other energy from other sources. Like energy will seek out other like energy and find it. That's what it does, and it goes on and on. This is how mirrors sometimes become haunted. If an entity is near that energy signature that is calling out to them because it contains the same type of energy that it possesses, then it will follow that energy. This is not to say that all entities will do this, but some do. Mirrors also get haunted by ghosts or spirits that find some sentimental or personal reason to stay with an object. In this case, the mirror. There are other reasons why ghosts might end up haunting a mirror, such as a binding. Other factors go into the making of a portal as far as a mirror is concerned, but mirrors make an excellent source for portals and gateways. You can open a portal anywhere, but a mirror with a portal has features that you cannot get in other types of portals. Also, mirrors have properties for naturally occurring portals, so they can open by themselves given the right variables. A mirror with a portal can be programmed much easier, and it's a fantastic way for people in the paranormal fields, and this includes psychic and magical work as well, can excel at what they do. Mirrors can give a person more power, more paranormal options, and increase their natural abilities and skills. Mirrors are a two-way street. When you look into the mirror, the mirror looks back at you. The embedded energy is there, ever present for you to observe, but the masses of energies that are located inside, they can perceive you. Any ghost, spirit, or entity in there, they can feel your presence, see you, hear you, watch you. Then again, to be fair, you're watching them, right? Every time you look into that mirror. Any portal that is present can present a plethora of dimensions with a plethora of entities, all looking back at you. So any ghost or entity bound to that mirror will also be looking back at you. It is so much more than this, though. It's like this little mirror. It contains worlds within worlds that literally take up no more space than the size of the mirror itself. Yet it is there, and it's very real and very vast. Older mirrors have so much going on. The energy is extremely powerful. If you can tap this energy, you can literally use it to your advantage. There are ways, through advanced supernatural means, to haunt a mirror, to open a portal, and to embed a particular destination for that portal into the mirror, or even several destinations into the mirror. There are so many other things you can accomplish as well through magical workings, paranormal experimentation, and psychic phenomena. If you can soul travel, you can open up another huge area of mystical features on top of it all. You can achieve incredible paranormal things using ancient forbidden arts with a mirror. There really is something to all of this mystical mirror stuff. Why do you think witches have been using them for centuries? There are several combinations of other tools you can use with mirrors that can make some pretty crazy arcane things happen. So when you look into a mirror, you see a mirror world looking back at you. Everything in that mirror is turned inside out. Adding other tools to your mirror with the right equation can turn your mirror into your very own emissary that you can control and gain information not only via supernatural means, but also it can turn your mirror into an informant for the earthly physical plane. I've been working with mirrors since I was a kid. Not the way I do these days, of course. When I was a kid, I had a mirror that I would keep close, as through this mirror I could see the mirror universe that I could tap into. That mirror universe felt more like a home to me than this universe has ever felt. So let me show you some of the mirrors I'm working with now. This one is my favorite. It was passed on to me by my mother, who passed away 25 years ago. The mirror used to belong to her mother and to my great-grandmother. It has seen a lot of energy through all that time. It has absorbed energy galore, and it literally vibrates with it. An intuitive or psychic will easily feel that energy. This particular mirror contains several spirits, not ghosts, and more than one portal. I use this mirror in many of my advanced paranormal experiments, and I have obtained more than fascinating and spectacular results. The portals contained within this mirror are well established, which enables me to further my paranormal research exponentially. It gives a very powerful enhancement to my ancient forbidden arts practice and experimentation as well. I've done a series of superb experiments with this particular mirror, and I've only published bits and pieces of the results so far. These experiments included opening a new portal, and this is when I met the entity that calls himself Josh, pretty much for my benefit.
Thank you for talking to me. Is your real name Josh?
So as you could see, he said his name was Josh, only on paper. And he revealed much later who he really was, and that's kind of an upcoming surprise. He is part of a humanoid race of beings that I call the mass face beings, but he says that they are called Squask.
What kind of entity are you? Give me your true name.
Josh has given me information about his planet, his people, and the hardships that they have endured. He said that their planet's surface is inhabitable and they now have to dwell underground. This picture came out while I was doing one of the experiments with Josh about his world, and as you can see on the left-hand side, there's a picture of a dagger, and at the bottom it looks like a person, a possible warrior from their planet. On the right-hand side, there's a picture of the word war. It comes through a veil, so it's kind of blurry. So I made it smaller on the lower right-hand corner, outlined. You can see it says war. Their planet has been under attack for many centuries, and it is very barren. There's nothing there. It's like all dirt on top, so they do have to live underground. Beings appeared in so many of my clients' personal energy ITC element sessions, and it took quite some time for me to realize it. One day I was just like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. And this mass face being even acknowledges that he looks like Dracula. What kind of being are you?
Dracula.
This has been a long and ongoing experiment that has really yielded some really crazy and insane awesome results. The entity Josh and his cohort Chris wanted me to work for them, selling souls. Yes, you heard that right.
What kind of work do you do?
I wanted to make sure that I did hear that right, that they wanted me to sell souls. So I said, do you still want me to sell souls? I just had to check, and they made it more than clear. as you will see in this EVP.
Do you still want me to help you sell souls, or do I have that wrong and it's something else you want?
Yeah, I've never been asked that one before. It's the first in 39 years. They said sell souls. The whole story with Josh, it is a long and extremely interesting story, and I hope to have that published for you sometime in the near future, but due to their request, I really haven't been able to talk about a lot of it. Here are a few pictures I got of Josh. One was in 2018, one was in 2020. I got a few more, but I just thought I'd let you see what he looks like. And this is a picture of Chris. He kind of looks sort of demonish or devilish, doesn't he? That's kind of a hint there. So this is Chris and what he looks like. Josh's cohort. Josh even communicated by spelling out his name for me. Well, his fake name. And the funny thing is that when I eventually can reveal who he is, you all kind of know who he is, at least have heard of him. I can say that it has been one of my top 3 best discoveries that I have made, and I just can't wait to share it with you. It truly is an amazing find and discovery, Josh's planet and everything about it, and how it unfolded, which is bizarre. Like I said, hope to share that with you soon. This all came out of a portal from mirror experiment, so see, mirrors are awesome. Here's another mirror that I have. This one here contains a very interesting portal. With a lot of work as well as years and years of effort, I have managed to break through time and space not once, but twice with this mirror so far. I'm hoping that with my consistent and continued efforts to be able to do this again at will. But time and experimentation will tell. Let me show you these breakthroughs now. This picture you are now witnessing is one frame of a 1/30th of a second moving picture of this experiment that was literally hours and hours of footage. On the right you see an entity. Looks female, wearing a white hoodie, facing diagonally away from the camera and standing still. You can also see a green skirt and partial legs. This picture was on the water element side of an experiment. On the left side, you will see the same exact entity, but she looks blurred because she is now facing the opposite direction and moving instead of standing still. You can see her right arm extended as she is moving quickly. Her left leg is out, and you can see her right knee, which is bent due to running. This is the original frame, the 1/30th second frame. The person running is in the left and just standing is on the right. Here is the second time I managed to break through time and space. The picture you see on the left is of an infant, perhaps even unborn, and the picture on the right shows the same entity in very old age, perhaps past death. It is the beginning and end of life, captured in one frame, or once again 1/30th of a second. It is interesting to note that the left symbolizes the past, and the right symbolizes the future. So here are the two pictures cropped out of that 1/30th second of a frame. On the left, of course, that symbolizes past. That is the infant. And on the right, symbolizing future, is the end of that person's life. For this time portal breakthrough, I also utilized the first mirror I showed you because it has a lot of psychic energy. So this also was one of the other extra tools and variables that helped me to do this. This is what can be accomplished with a portaled mirror and other tools as well. A whole lot more can be done that you just can't even imagine. My mirrors and the experiments that I do with them have helped me very much in locating and making direct communication with deceased people to get EVP on demand from a specific person. This is something that I've been working on for a very long time. While it is great that I can give people psychic loving messages from their loved ones that have passed away, it is even more awesome that they can hear the messages for themselves and makes a much bigger impact. This is the mirror that I use to accomplish this technique. While it is not a perfect technique, it has had a very high success rate of about 90%. I call this method PEITC. Here are some of the messages I got from the deceased to their grieving family on demand using this method. Can you tell your mother that you love her?
Melody.
John, can you say your name?
John.
Can you say something meaningful to your mother, Debbie?
Mirror.
Do you have any messages that you want to tell your mother, April?
In pain.
This very special and unique mirror holds some very interesting energy. As you can see, it has two mirrors. Both of those mirrors contain a portal that has been programmed and permanently embedded firmly into it. The large mirror holds energy of the light, angels of the light, and the vibrations of what might be thought of as heaven. The small mirror holds energy of the dark, angels of the dark, and the vibrations of what might be thought of as hell. This is a perfect little setup, and it is one that complements and offsets the other. You might think that the balance of this dual mirror is not equal, but the size of the mirror doesn't always mean that the energy contained is the same size. This one is absolutely fantastic. This mirror's power is so intense that during a very big experiment it cracked as opposing factors presented a trauma on the physical mirror, and it now holds a scar, which adds to the personality of the mirror itself. This particular two-portal duality mirror is also being used for more than one experiment. One of the experiments is called the 100-question experiment, where the answers to life's biggest questions are being pursued. Most other experiments are combinations of light versus dark, good versus evil, and exploring new benevolent and malevolent worlds and dimensions. It is a very busy mirror, to say the least. I can't tell you a lot about it just yet, since there are so many open experiments still in progress. Here are a few EVPs out of many that came through at this mirror that I think you will find interesting. Do you have angels in your world? Who came to take her home?
God.
Did you see people that have already passed away before you? Can I have the name of an entity that can help me with space and time? What did Jesus say about Easter? Another remarkable mirror I have is the same type of mirror, the steampunk gear double mirror. This one is not cracked. As you can see, it's the same with this larger and main mirror here, and there's a smaller gear with a small mirror here. This particular mirror is one that I keep sealed up at all times except for when I'm using it for paranormal, psychic, and magical purposes. I also have a built-in spirit safety net that I constructed because the portals that are embedded into these two mirrors are very powerful. So I suppose I could literally say that this mirror is the mirror from hell, or at least contains hell. The larger mirror contains a portal to the realm of the fallen angels. There is a place where the fallen angels can watch the human population. They do it from this realm. The smaller mirror contains a portal to the underworld. This contains many interesting, malevolent beings of many types and species. As you can see, this mirror's safety net guard is definitely warranted. This mirror is very active when the seal is lifted, and a lot of care has to be taken when working with the entities therein. Here are just a couple of EVPs and a couple pictures out of so very many that I got while working with this mirror. And I do a lot of dark workings with this mirror, as it holds the energy of the fallen and the dark abyss. Here are the EVPs and pictures.
What is hell like?
Are our depictions of fallen angels and demons accurate? What is hell? Can you describe it? Why can't people know these secrets? What is hell?
Terrifying.
Hell is terrifying?
My life is
Here are the two steampunk mirrors side by side so you can see that there are indeed two of these mirrors that I work with. The one that is cracked is on the left. This is an old, very haunted mirror that contains several ghosts. Two of them are young sisters. When I first obtain a new mirror, I sit with it and meditate. I want to find out what kind of energy is present, if it is haunted, cursed, if an entity is bound or attached, and if it contains one or more portals. So this mirror came with several ghosts. Since this was the case, I worked with the mirror to make communication with the entities. I first speak with them psychically, and then follow up with an EVP and ITC sessions to get evidence. When I played back the first EVP session, the two female sister entities were not answering most of my questions with an answer fitting the question. Instead, they took the opportunity in between my questions to tell the story of their family's tragic murder and becoming attached to the mirror. The first time that I did the EVP session, I had the mirror in the box that it came in, and I had my experiment table set up. Apparently, during my EVP session, my cell phone camera that was next to the box with the mirror took a series of consecutive pictures all by itself. Check out this clip from one of my YouTube videos on this mirror that shows just what I'm talking about. Where the entity showed me that they can indeed work my camera and I don't have to be anywhere around it. Or I can be right next to it and it can happen and I won't even know it, which is the case. So I was doing an EVP session to reach out to the entity to find out more about them. And my phone was sitting right next to the box that the mirror was in. The mirror was right next to me. When I was done the EVP session, I took my phone and I brought it out into my kitchen to do an ITC session, and I was using the phone the entire time, but I took some video. And I went to upload it and found a burst of 12 pictures that I did not take or set up, and it was in a completely different color. I think it was sepia. There was nobody else around when I was doing all this, and it had to occur while I was doing the EVP session and while my phone was sitting right next to me, because where the pictures were taken was in the room that I was in. The most interesting thing about this, though, is the view of the picture. The mirror was still in the box that it came in, but the lid was, open a little bit. The picture looked like it was in the view of something looking out of the mirror and looking out of the box itself. And I'm going to show you the pictures. The box was facing that direction. If you open the lid, that's what you would see. And the pictures, of course, were moved a little tiny bit. Each burst was just a small movement, like somebody was controlling the camera. Wasn't me. This is the mirror in question. It's about 3.5 to 4 inches long. And as you can see, it appears as though an entity is looking out of the view of the mirror. It's dark, and then you see just the shape, which looks like the mirror, and it's peering into the room that I was in. So here is a picture that I took for comparison. The picture that the entity took is on the right, but on the left I snapped this picture. You can see I have it labeled mirror in the box. That's where the mirror was located. And the white circle is an approximate view, as close as I could get it. So just a little something here for you to be able to compare. Here are two out of many EVPs that came from the questioning of the sisters. Can you introduce yourself to me? What is your name? Did you take the picture with my cell phone camera from inside the box? Now check out these two pictures that I got from the first session. This very unique mirror that I'm going to share with you is working as an advanced paranormal conduit between worlds. The Sacred Cat mirror is pretty spectacular, just in its looks alone. The mirror is actually a newer mirror. I used this mirror to make a portal that I have embedded into a primitive world. This world's population was actually wiped out many millennia ago by what is known as a world destroyer. There was a new ruler appointed to that world, and there is very little primitive life on that world at the present moment. The new god of that world has started to create and build, so this is a very amazing opportunity to study a brand new world being rebuilt with very primitive life forms, ones that do not appear to be biological, but instead biocrystalline igneous beings with an embryonic intelligence. This world is something I hope to study for quite some time and keep up with its progress. The nice thing about being able to program destinations into mirrors and travel to different dimensions and worlds is that I can embed the same destination into another mirror with the right properties. This is exactly what I did. Here is a smaller version of the mirror I just showed you of the Sacred Cat. I also have a portal programmed in this smaller version to the exact same primitive planet as what is in the larger mirror. This little mirror is actually a necklace that I can keep on me, and it makes traveling with a portal much easier so I can carry my experiment to different places to conduct even more research, which comes in very handy for me. This also comes in handy for me when I want to contact the new ruler or god of this world wherever I am, and this portal is much simpler to open. Here are a couple of EVPs that I got from an experiment in this world. What type of beings inhabit that world? What's the name of the place we were at? I just wanted to take a moment to explain the last EVP responses. Archivan is the name of the planet, and Diuriel is the name of the new ruler, and just happens to be a fallen angel. The last mirror I'm going to show you is this black mirror. This one I use for a lot of energy work, pulling in what I want to come to me and pushing out what I want to send out. Also, this mirror has been used during many experiments as a gateway for others to make appearances, show me what their world looks like, send me written messages, and various other paranormal, psychic, and magical workings. This mirror has seen a lot, shown a lot, and has energies that are very strong. So many possibilities are open to me working with this magic mirror. Check out these pictures that came through this magic mirror. And here are two EVPs that came through it as well. Of course, there was many more, but I thought you'd like these two. What is your purpose? Who am I talking to right now? Even a tiny little mirror piece, such as the one pictured here, can be used for paranormal work. I can use it to leave at a particular location, and then I can build a bridge between that location and my location, or the mirror piece. Now I have access to everything there whenever I need it. The sky is the limit, really. Anything that you can imagine is possible in the invisible worlds. Even though it might not seem tangible in this world, it is very tangible in those worlds. Intersecting those worlds and bringing it into this world, or bringing yourself into those worlds, are something that mirrors seem to be built for, because they're perfect for the job. Tangible things can go into these mirrors or come out of them, as well as spiritual things and any of your intentions and workings. They can go in and out of these mirrors as long as you learn how to work this highly paranormal magical system. This is just a teeny taste of 39 years of conducting this research. Exploring worlds, working with portals, time, space, dimensions, otherworldly beings, and all kinds of paranormal, psychic, and magical explorations. I have been asked many times if I'd be willing to sell my mirrors. And I guess people are just really interested in haunted and portal mirrors. But I decided that when I concluded my experiments and research with these mirrors that I would sell them. It takes me a long time to study worlds, beings, and other phenomena. For those of you who don't want to wait that long, I can get you a haunted mirror and or a programmed portaled mirror to any destination that you choose. If you are interested in becoming a new owner of a haunted or portaled mirror, then email me at ghostylady@gmail.com and we can discuss what you have in mind and see what we can do. I do want everyone to be safe using their new haunted and portaled mirrors, and to also learn how to use them properly and what you can use them for. So I'm in the process of running a beginner's and advanced course for just this purpose. This course will cover a lot. It'll cover a lot of things for paranormal investigators and people who just do serious paranormal research. If you're a psychic, it'll help you to work in the psychic realms that you are working with, whether you're a medium or a reader or any type of divination. You could do things and take it up to another level. And if you're into magic, this can really boost your magical workings, make you much more powerful. In any case, no matter what use or what you have in mind for these mirrors, it will really take what you do up quite a few notches, and even more once you get more experience. I've been working very deeply and extensively in paranormal, psychic, and magical research, portal and time experimentation, and utilizing physical and biological science, combined with technology, and integrated that with the highest axiom of vibro-frequency energy signatures and advanced transcendent incorporeal and undisclosed systems and techniques, which has contributed to many major breakthroughs and advancements in paranormal science. Enchanted Gateways and PsychicMyst Paranormal Network has literally been a lifetime of dedicated supernatural pursuit, specialization, and commitment, and it has paid off tremendously. I can now pass some of my research developments on to you, so that you can take your workings to a new level and go beyond what you thought was possible. I'm bringing you the next era of paranormal evolution. Dare to go there. This is Shar with PsychicMyst Paranormal Network, Enchanted Gateways, and the Academy of Spiritual Enlightenment and Forbidden Arts. Have a super natural night.